Hello, everyone. Welcome in or welcome back to Midnight Morning Readings. Thank you for viewing me today. We are doing the monthly reading for the sign of Taurus for the month of October. And I'm going to do the reading a little bit differently if you have seen viewed any of my previous readings. So I would be interested in any comments if you guys like the new format or you prefer the old format, or just any comments as how the reading may resonate you, all parts or none. So we're going to go ahead and get started and see a couple of overarching energy card or messages for the month of October before we really dive in and see what is going on for you for that month. So we're going to see one energy, one message card for the sign of Taurus for October, please. One message. Thank you. Well, I think it gave you two. Yep. So you have miracles and you have new beginnings. So a beautiful, bright new month for you for the month of October. Very, very beautiful month, a beautiful energy of starting over and starting anew for you for this month, Taurus. That's a very beautiful and powerful energy that seems to be coming in. We're also going to get a journey card just to kind of see how you're going to be carrying along and going through this particular month. So we're going to go ahead and get a journey card here and see. There it is. Thank you. Okay. And journey card, oh, this is a beautiful, beautiful energy here. Okay, and for some of you that are cat lovers, that maybe have cats or have had cats in the past, or even having a cat hang around, this could also be a symbol for you for this particular month, where spirit may be trying to send you messages as well. But it talks about regal charm, and it says, radiate warmth and strength, trust your instincts and charm, own your own magic with pride. And I feel, this really just talks about the energy and the peacefulness and the magnetism that you offer, that you have as a sign, Taurus. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this rest of this message and reading is going to unfold. But before we get going, we're going to take a dive and we're going to see what your most recent past messages are that is leading you into this particular month, because we do have a full supermoon in Aries that is going to happen on October 6th. So it's going to be a very powerful moon that is going to be going on. But the next full moon that we have is going to be the biggest full supermoon that we are going to have. It's almost a mega moon. That is going to happen in November, and it's in your sign, Taurus. It's going to be a full moon in Taurus, but it's going to be like, it is the closest that the Earth and the moon are going to be towards each other for quite some time. So it's going to hold a lot of magical and spiritual energy that's going to be going on. So it would not be surprising if you were already starting to feel the energy of that full moon that's coming to completion. So we're going to see, we're going to get some messages here. Thank you. About, your most recent past. What has been going on that has led you up to this month before we get into your current month messages. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anything else? Thank you. Okay. Lots and lots of energies, messages that are going on. On the bottom of the deck, you've got the Two of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Lovers, and the Eight of Cups. And I'm even going to pull one more because you also have... So you've got choices that are going to be coming up. That's the big message that I'm feeling from Spirit. So you've got the Two of Swords, you've got the Lovers, and you have the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups and the and the Lovers energies, those are very, very similar, that are there, because it's talking about making choices, and that may that really pull on your heartstrings, that maybe are something that is something that you've been working towards. It's choosing to go forward in a romance. It's choosing, to buy the home of your dreams. It's choosing, there's some sort of big choice that is coming in for you this particular month that is going to take place, because the other thing that comes in is the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is a very, very um, uh, strong energy when it comes to the choice, because the Two of Swords really talks about making a decision despite the fear or the anxiety that you may have regarding that particular choice. So when you're talking about things that have been going on that has led you up to October, maybe over the summer months, you've been making a lot of choices, and some of them may be choices that have been out of character for you. They may have been choices that maybe you didn't have all the facts, you didn't have all the information, and you had to make a choice despite having that information. You had to make it with what you had. And that might have been very, very uneasy for you to make those, making this particular decision, but you made the choice despite the fear or the anxiety or the uneasiness or uncertainty of the situation, because a choice had to be made. And so when we're seeing, like I said, when we're seeing the Lovers and we're seeing the Two of Swords and the Two of Cups and a lot of that two energy that is coming in, that's talking about you've had to make a lot of decisions in a very short amount of time. And some of them might be minor, but the Lovers is definitely a major decision that you've had to make. But these two minor arcana, the Two of Swords and the Two of Cups, that energy, as it is coming in, is really talking about a lot of little decisions that has brought you to almost this pinnacle of decisions. Because you got the Six of Swords, and this is, you're sitting there, and if you look at this particular card, if you're looking at it, or you can just listen to the description, it's a gentleman, with a daughter or a young girl on his shoulders, and she's carrying the swords, and she's looking behind her, and you can see that they are walking through this body of water, and there's a shark that is following them. And they're sitting back, and she's looking back on this energy. And what the Six of Swords really represents is making a choice to walk away from something, right? So you're making a decision. It's already been made. You've already made the decision. So the fact that you've got the Two of Swords coming in with the Six of Swords said you've already made the choice to walk away from something because it wasn't serving you anymore, and it was a difficult decision. However, this happens to manifest for you, right? Because when you get the Eight of Cups, you're kind of sitting there and you're just looking, you're just like, what, it's kind of the definition of insanity. If you continually do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten. And this is where that Two of Swords, Six of Swords, Eight of Cups, Two of Cups, you had to make a decision that was not only what was best for you, it was best for somebody else, because you chose to walk away from a situation because it wasn't serving you, it wasn't healthy, it was causing mental conflict for yourself. It was a lot of energy, and it's something that has been a major upheaval, something you have been working on over these past couple of months. Because the other card that came out, the major arcana that came out, is the Hanged Man. And there's a reason the Hanged Man is upside down in these cards, is because you're taking a step back to really look at a situation from a very different perspective. You're actually looking at it through somebody else's point of view. You're asking somebody else for their opinion to be able to get insight into what you might be missing as far as a situation is concerned. And so these are major points in time that have happened over these past couple of months that has led you to where you are at. Because here you got the Three of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. that are coming in. And you kind of have sat there and you've said, and this goes right into, you know, these decisions of choosing to walk away from something because it's no longer serving you, because you could see that it was not getting any better. It wasn't going to change. The energy was stagnant, you know, it was not moving anywhere. You know, that's very definitive with the Eight of Cups coming out. But the Six of Pentacles was the kind of the light that you were starting to see that is coming in with the change, because you're starting to see how it is giving back to you. And it's not as stagnant as, you know, the change is now starting to show the positivity that came with that choice, right? So when you see that, you know, you're just looking at all of these difficult decisions. And the Three of Swords is not a light energy, okay? You're probably looking at this saying, I've got a lot of sword energy that is coming in. But sword energy can also be very freeing. It can be, because some of the sword energies, a lot of the sword energy can come in and talk that you are cutting ties with something or someone because it's not serving you anymore. It's very definitive energy that wants to come in and it wants to say, I'm done because I'm not attaching my emotions to it, which is where the Hanged Man comes in of saying, I need a different perspective. I need somebody else's point of view that is not emotionally attached to this situation, that can give me a more objective opinion about what is going on to help me make this decision and this choice as I'm moving forward. Because here you've got another two, okay? So you have the Two of Cups, the Two of Swords, now you have the Two of Pentacles, and you got the Lovers. There have been a lot of decisions that you have been making. And it's a choice about, you know, what is best for you and for your emotions and your spirit. It's what is making a decision that you're not getting yourself too emotionally involved in order to move forward. And now you have got the Two of Pentacles that is coming in. And this is about setting goals and setting structure as you're moving forward from those choices. Because you've got the Page of Pentacles and now you've got the Four of Wands that is coming in. And so Wands is all about spiritual energy, right? It's about bringing things together. And the Page of Pentacles talks about a messenger. Somebody is bringing you news of stability, of financial stability, of opportunities that are coming in. And this is news that is going to come in for you right on the heel of this Four of Wands energy, which is bringing everything together. So if it hasn't happened yet, it's happening as we are talking, as we're going very quickly, that these choices that you have made, you are now seeing all of these choices, these little choices, decisions that you have made over these past several months. You are now sitting there saying, now I'm seeing it coming together, which is where these new beginnings and this miracle energy is coming from. Right? And that's where you're at right now, coming in here, because you're seeing the new beginnings, you're seeing the fruitfulness of these decisions, and you know, you're definitely seeing it because you have looked at things from a different perspective, and now you've got the Lovers that has brought you into your current month's reading. Wow. You've had a lot going on, Tauruses. I don't know how else to say it. It's been a pretty I want to say, I feel stressful. That's the word that just came in. It's been one decision after another, after another, after another. And I feel that you haven't even had time to rest or digest the after effects, or the consequences, or the aftermath, or, you know, the results of whatever decisions you've been making. You haven't had time to rest from them because you had to keep going, and it was just one thing after another. Things moved very, very quickly for you to get you to that point. So we're going to draw a message card for 4 weeks, for each full week that we're going to have here in October, as we are moving through this reading. And they are being very specific about which cards are coming out, because they're falling out of the deck that's here. And so I'm going to lay these two so that I have plenty of room here for these energy cards that are coming in. So, for these next 4 weeks, and then we'll pull a couple of clarifiers that are going to come with them. So let's get your last message card for the last week of October, Taurus. Oh my gosh, this is really going to be a huge shifting month for you. It's so we're sitting here looking. So the first week of the month, you've got openness. Second full week of the month, you've got wisdom. Third week is fulfillment, and fourth week is power. And power isn't talking about like power as an authority type of position. It talks about your internal self power that you have within yourself in order to move forward. So we're going to pull a couple of letting go cards that are going to go with each one of these, that is going to help you work to manifest each one of these weeks as you are continuing to move through them. So we're going to go ahead and ask Spirit to give us, there's the first one. Next letting go card for the second week, please. Thank you. Second card. Third card. And the last card, please. The last month, they've actually given you 2 for that particular month, or for this one. So we're going to kind of lay them here, and we'll talk about them here. All right. And then finally, we're going to get a message card that is going to go with each one of these. And then we're going to dive into the messages that Spirit has for each one of these weeks for you. Okay, so message card, thank you. Message card, second week, thank you. Message card. This is going to be a very intense month for you, Tauruses. I can feel it. You got transform in the third week. Okay, that's death card energy, because that's all about transformation that is coming in. So you are going to start seeing this in the second half of the month is what you are going to find and feel. Because the final card they gave you was aspirations, and that's perfect. That goes along with power. Okay, so the first full week, okay, of the month, you've got openness. And remember, on October 6th, Monday, October 6th, is the full moon in Aries. So you're going to feel this lightheartedness, this very, very light energy that is going to start coming in, because they gave you, you are enough. Progress, not perfection. It's okay to make mistakes, meaning it's okay if you take a step or 2 backwards, or if you feel like you just need to take a breath for yourself, because they're talking about, looking deeper within yourself. There's a lot of energy that needs to come from reflecting on those decisions that you have made and really sitting back into the quietness. So when you have that openness that comes in, it's being honest with yourself and reflecting back on the decisions and choices that you've been making that has led you up to this point. Full moon energy is when your 6th and 7th chakras really kick into full gear. This is when you start getting those intuitive messages. You start getting a lot of that seeing messages, and you start getting those aha moments that are starting to come in. So I mean, when you're sitting there looking at this, don't let other people start bringing you down, in a sense that you are going to sit there and say, looking to see, are you, did you make the right decisions? I made them for myself, but, is this good enough for myself? And you are. And that's the message Spirit is communicating to you, is this was a major thing, a major situation that you chose to walk away from because it wasn't serving you anymore. It was stale. It was stagnant. It wasn't helping you. It was pulling you down. And so you're moving forward. So this full moon is going to be almost a transient type of energy that is going to help you make that pivotal point of shifting into this energy of really looking at yourself holistically. So the first week, you know, of October, you're going to be sitting there looking, and you're going to say, you know, did I make the right decisions? And, you know, how do I feel today versus how I felt 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, however long this transition has been taking place. So when you're looking at all of this energy, you're going to be going almost into a quiet zone, into a self-lockdown, to where you almost feel like you need to shut the world out just for a little bit because you need some time to decompress. And that's going to help you move into the second week of October, because they gave you the wisdom card. And this is where you're really going to start getting the insights into those decisions that you made, that you are going to start seeing the positive things that are coming out as a result of those decisions. And Spirit is coming in and saying, you don't need to worry about this. Okay, you've made the right decisions. You're on the right path. Quit worrying about what could have been, what should have been, or what did happen, because it may not be who you are anymore. And it's time for you to really start opening up to that energy. You know, because they also gave you this Dreamweaver, and I love this particular card because it talks about drawing in the, you know, the art of the law of attraction, and it's really putting out there that positive thoughts and really seeing yourself in those positive situations as a result of those decisions that you've made. And this is going to be very, very key and very, very important for you to understand what you're doing and how you're using that to move forward. So as you're coming out of this realm of silence and solitude into this realm, you're going to start seeing how these decisions have made you whole, and how the positive and the rewards, because of that projection of positivity, is starting to come back to you in that law of attraction. So by the third week, you're seeing the fulfillment. You're seeing how full and how happy you are as a result of these decisions, because they gave you this left behind. And this is when you're going to start saying, I've left that part of me behind. It's no longer serving me. I let it go with love. I'm not letting other people make the decisions for me, because I needed to make the decision that was best for me, or best for me and somebody else. And that's what I did. And so I've left that behind. I'm letting go. I'm letting go of those old attachments because they're not helping me anymore. Because here's the transformation card that I talked about a few minutes ago. You have truly transformed into something beautiful, into somebody that is radiating positive energy and just has this beautiful aura around them now, as you are walking, you know, through this with these new choices, and you're starting to find that fulfillment. And if you see on this particular card, if you're actually watching the video, you see the peach on the tree, but you also see a full moon in the background. And remember, I told you at the beginning of the reading, the full moon in November, it's a mega super moon. It's the biggest supermoon we're going to have this year, and it is in Taurus. So the energy that you are feeling off of this supermoon in Aries next week, all the way until the full moon in Taurus in November, is going to be truly magnetic for you. You are going to be releasing old energies that don't serve you, and it's going to allow those positive energies in, because you're going to be taking this whole month, this whole time, of letting everything go that doesn't serve you, to come into your true authentic self. And that leads you into the last week of October and into your full moon, Taurus, in November, because this is going to give you that internal sense of power. It's going to be an internal sense of strength that you never knew you had, or that you haven't felt in a very, very long time, because they gave you two clearing cards. And so they're talking about, they gave you toxic ties and they gave you inner critic. And you are going to be your worst critic, and you're going to be your own worst enemy in this. You're going to start having second thoughts is what's going to happen. You're going to start backtracking a little bit, and you're going to start saying, well, did I make the right decision? Because something is going to come back around towards the end of the month that is going to start making you question the decisions that you have made. And see, this is where the toxic ties come in, because it's talking about this work that you're doing about letting things go that aren't serving you is also talking about severing relationships that aren't serving you either, because they are holding you back or bringing you down. And it's okay, because you were in each other's lives for a time and a place, and that time and place is gone. And it's time for you to move forward and to let the other person figure it out from themselves, because they also gave you the aspirations. And it talks about letting go of your own worries, your own inner self, which is what you have been doing. It's the aspirations, it's the opposite, it's the other side of the coin to left behind. So when you're sitting there letting things go, when you leave things go that aren't serving you, it opens up space for you to have those positive affirmations and those aspirations about what could be and how positive and good things can be once you let things go that aren't serving you. So as you are coming to the end of this month and you're coming into your full moon in November, you're going to start seeing, you're going to not only going to start seeing it, but you're seeing it, but you're going to feel it. You're going to feel this positivity that is going to be coming into you because you have let things go that aren't serving you, which opens up space for you to have that positive energy, that law of positive attraction, those aspirations, and it's letting those worries go because you've been working on letting that stuff go. So you're definitely doing a huge transformation over this. This major transformation is taking place this month, and you've been working on it for quite some time. So I want to go ahead and get some final messages from Spirit to see if there's anything else Spirit wants to say or talk about or send a message to you for this reading before we wrap this up. So, okay. So final messages for Taurus, please. You're definitely on new beginnings. You're going to see, you've got that transformation, that miracles that are coming into place. This is a magical month because you're going to be seeing those new beginnings that are going to be coming in for you. And this is going to be huge for you, Taurus. I mean, it's just going to be huge energies that are coming in and talking about everything that's going on. So on the bottom of the deck, they've got moving on, deception and envy, discontent and boredom, recognition, reward, and oh my gosh, you have got a slew. They are stacked in front of you, major arcanas that are coming in. I can't even make this up, Taurus, okay? You've got authority, which is the Emperor. You've got your crown chakra. You've got your heart chakra. You've got your sacral chakra. There's the devil that's coming in. You've also got the third chakra, and you have the world. The world in the major arcana is ending of chapters. It's the ending of everything. The devil, that when it comes in, is talking about being tempted in order to go back to the way things were. This is going to happen a third and fourth week of the month. You're going to start seeing those temptations coming up. You're going to start seeing people come in that have those toxic ties, that have those ties with you that bring you down. They don't lift you up. And the Spirit is saying, no, 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 no. This is the end of that cycle. You're done. You're done. There is no more, because remember, you've got the Emperor, and that is authority. That is your power that is coming in at the end of the month, because you now have the strength to be able to step forward and move on, because, you've got, here's the Six of Swords, okay? All right? You had the Six of Swords in your past messages. You've got it again now. Spirit is coming in and saying, you're done. It's time. I've moved on. I'm not going back to the way it is, because I'm tired of being lied to all of the time. I'm tired of things being stagnant with the Eight of Cups. You've got the, with the Eight of Cups that was in the most recent past, and now you got the Four of Cups, and it's kind of, I ain't getting any, so why should I give any? That's the message. That's the energies that were coming into the beginning of the month. Like, I'm done with this. I'm tired of being lied and deceived. I'm tired of being used, and things are saying, and it's time to move on. And so you're coming in with the Three of Pentacles. All right. that's coming in, and you're starting to see the fruits of your labor between weeks 2 and 3. You're starting to see that power of positivity with that law of attraction that's coming in. You also, here you come in with your throat chakra. You've got major chakras that are coming in, that are hitting. You have got the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and the 7th. Okay, this is major energy about communication and realigning yourself so that you are whole again. Because the last one that they gave you is the 7. They gave you the 7 of cups. All right, 7 of cups talks about choices, opportunities. Things are opening up for you at the end of the month, which is where these new beginnings are coming in, Taurus. This is not something that is just random, that is happening. All these decisions that you have been making for yourself and or you and somebody else's in your life. You may have a kid, you may have a child, or you may have children, and you may have finally decided that this is what you have to do, what's best for them. However this is resonating with you, you've made the decision to move on, move forward with this. And you've been struggling with those decisions, but you're going to see how those are turning in your favor, because you're allowing the positivity to come in, because you're bringing in not only this miracle transformation, but you're bringing in these new beginnings, and you're going to see them at the end of the month, Taurus, I assure you. Wow, you have such a powerful reading this month, Taurus. It is just unbelievable. Okay, so we're going to get a final message from your spirit animal that we're going to leave you with. And you may see these metaphorically, you may see these, depending upon where in the world you live, just the same, as the regal charm, that came out. There's a cat that's on there, so you might be a cat lover. You may have grown up around cats. Your neighbor lady might have cats. Whatever it is, that's going to could very well be a symbol or a metaphor that, spirit is trying to send you messages. So however this animal spirit guide comes out, it could be metaphorical, it could be real, it could be, however this actually wants to resonate with you. Okay, thank you. So Spirit gave you the peacock. I absolutely love peacocks. They are absolutely beautiful, beautiful birds with their vibrancy. And that's what you're going to feel towards the end of the month. You're going to feel alive like you haven't in a long time. And so the card reads, you were born to shine and inspire. Practice humility to avoid jealousy. Be grateful for life and more good things will come. Be true to yourself and recognize your brilliance. And you truly are brilliant, Taurus. The transformation that you are going through these past couple of months and what's going to happen this month is truly going to be transformational for you. I wish you all the best. I hope it helped. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and leave comments if any or parts of this message resonate with you. And I'll see you back here next time. Take care.